The Nifty and the Sensex continue their upward momentum after the positive Trump-Modi call and ahead of the FOMC decision later tonight. The Commerce Ministry says that India and the United States held positive negotiations yesterday. Energy, industrials and IT are the top gainers, while metals and utilities continue to drag.
The urban company stock races up after listing at a hefty 58% premium to its offer price of 103, implying a market capitalization of over 23,000 crore rupees. The strong show points to big investor appetite for top B2C platforms.
L&T has written to Union Housing and Urban Affairs Minister seeking to exit the Hyderabad Metro special purpose vehicle by selling its 90% stake to the centre or to Telangana. The infra major cites mounting losses and lack of support from the government.
In a boost to commodity exchanges, SEBI chairman has said the regulator will permit banks, pension funds and foreign investors to trade in non-agri commodities.
And US President Donald Trump calls friend Prime Minister Modi to wish him a happy birthday and thank him for his support on ending the Ukraine war. Modi replies thanking Trump and commits to take the India-US partnership to new heights, signaling a big thaw in relations. Good afternoon, you're with us here on Business Lunch. We are coming to you live from the CNBC TV18 Motilal Oswal studios. I'm Hormuz Patakia. With me as always is Vamakshi Thoria. Vamakshi, good afternoon. Turning out to be yet another good afternoon for the bulls. We are speaking about this on Monday, that 25,154 is an important level for the Nifty. And since it crossed that, it's been one-way traffic for the index.
Well, absolutely good afternoon to you, Hormuz. It's good looking at a green-looking screen for today. The Nifty is doing quite well, inching closer towards that 25,350 mark. Apart from that, what's also supporting it is actually the Nifty Bank, which is up almost 0.5% today. The broader end of the market, when we look at the advance decline ratio, the advances are far outnumbering the number of declines that we see. Apart from that, the mid-cap index is not reflecting that because that index is up only 0.2%, unlike what we've seen in the past couple of sessions. The small-cap index, though, that continues to do quite well. Now, in terms of sectoral indices, PSU Bank are flying high today. Bank of Maharashtra is up almost 3.74%. Canara Bank too trading higher by almost 2.28%. And of course, we had a couple of new listings today, and all of those listings have done extremely well. Urban Company listed at a significant premium. Shingar House of Mangalsutra is also doing well, up almost 11%. So is Dev Accelerator, because that counter also listed today, started off on a very slow note, but has picked up pace, Hormaz.
The new listings doing well on their trading debut, of course, and since we are on the subject of Urban Company, saw a stellar listing, as Vamakshi just highlighted, a 60% premium to its issue price. Mangalam is here with all the details. Mangalam.
Well, it was a stellar listing indeed for Urban Company, and this is a company that, moves unorganized daily home services into the organized industry, and the street really liked it. For starters, the issue was very well bid for. A 1,900 crore issue saw subscriptions of over 104 times. Interestingly, while the qualified institutional investors led that, we also saw oversubscription come in from HNIs, the retail investors, including the employees of the company that subscribed to the issue by over 37 times. So that was a big positive, or that told you that there is going to be a big up move on the listing itself. The other reason why the stock did extremely well was the overall size of the opportunity. Less than 1% of this market is organized right now, and the street believes that this will likely grow faster. And as we've seen the case with platform companies, as they turn a corner, profitability rises exponentially as well, and that's what the management had said too. They are looking at profitability over the last few years. The 700 crore incremental revenue that they've added, that's translated into 300 crore plus EBITDA. They also have the extended business of hardware native, which is showing good growth, and operating leverage is likely to play out there as well. The street believes this 35% revenue CAGR, if that continues, and the operating EBITDA margins doubles from current levels of around 1.5%, then maybe the stock at around 100 times, given the growth potential, is not particularly very expensive, largely because of the growth potential that we've seen. Mind you, the market cap of Zomato is over 3 lakh crores. That of Swiggy is over 1 lakh crores. Even after a big stellar rally on day one, Urban Company market cap is just around the 26,000 crores.
Interesting there, Mangalam. Another successful listing on the bourses today of Urban Company. But SEBI Chairman Tuhin Kanta Pandey has batted for deepening India's commodities market by increasing the participation from institutional investors. And this has had a bearing on the stock reaction that you have seen on MCX. The stock is up almost 4.5% after these remarks came in. So before we get onto the stock reaction, listen into what the SEBI Chairman had to say.
Strengthening India's commodity markets is high on SEBI's regulatory agenda. We have, in fact, I would rather say, development agenda. We have already constituted a committee to recommend measures for deepening the agriculture commodities segment. We'll also constitute a working group for developing the non-agricultural commodity space, including metals. Enhanced institutional participation will bring in higher liquidity, making the market more attractive for hedging. We will keep working towards a regulatory framework to enable prudent institutional access to these markets. A proposal to allow FPIs to trade in non-cash settled, non-agricultural commodity derivative contracts is also currently under examination. We will also engage with the government to consider banks, insurance companies, and pension funds to trade in these markets.
Well, that was the SEBI chairman sharing his comments on the commodity market, and resultantly, MCX also seeing a very sharp uptick after those comments came in. For now, the stock is trading over 4% higher. But moving on then, Financial Services Secretary M. Nagaraju has said that India needs bigger banks. Speaking at the CNBC TV18 Banking Transformation Summit, Nagaraju also said that there is no proposal to reduce government stake in public sector banks. Listen in.
We all felt that now this is the time for India banking industry to take a leap of faith on the next phase of both reforms and lending. We want to become bigger. The Indian banks want to be bigger. And I think all of us know, in the top 10, we have only 2 Indian banks in the country, SBI and HDFC. I think we need much more. We are now currently 4th largest economy, and in the next year, we will be 3rd largest economy. I think all of you agree with me when we say that we deserve to be there, our banks deserve to be there in the top 10, not just top 50. We have to be, at least 1 or 2 should be there in the top 10 in the world. We also require more banks. On that, there is no doubt. The government is very clear that we also require more banks and also bigger banks. They are not contradictory, they all actually go together. There is no proposal at all before the government to reduce that. They continue to be majority owned by the government because there is a public interest in government owning majority in the public sector banks. Government is also doing a lot of trade to different neglected or under-serviced sectors, like education loans we provide, or KCC, Kisan Credit Cards, we give, PM Swanidhi or PM Jivan Jyoti. These are all done because they are government banks. And we also, see, these are all not possible if they are private. So the government has an interest, in the interest of the national development, to continue to have majority shareholding.
Some words coming in there from the DFS Secretary having a bearing on the PSU banking names as well. The PSU Bank Index is the top sectoral performer as of this afternoon. Take a short break. More news and updates follow on the other side. And you can see visuals on your screen, the exclusive conversation with the management of Urban Company in a short while from now. The stock had a very stellar listing on the bourses today, listed at a 60% premium to its issue price, and it's continuing to hold on to those gains, still over 60% higher on the stock, with making it one of the most successful listings of the year that the stock has had. Remember, the IPO, which was around 1900 crore rupees, also saw very stellar subscription figures, subscribed over 100 times, and making it also one of the most subscribed IPOs of 2025. So strong subscription and a strong response as well on the street, and there you can see 61% higher still on the stock. Mangalam was mentioning the fact that the market cap of the company now has crossed over 25,000 crores on a listing day, and since then it has held on to those gains. At one point the stock was up even 74 odd percent as well at the highest point of the day. So, but still, not a bad debut at all. 61% higher for Urban Company. Take a short break. Back with more on the other side.
Welcome back. Let's cut across to my colleague Shireen, who is in conversation with the top team at Urban Company. Shireen, over to you.
One of India's most awaited startup listings has hit the bourses today. Urban Company has listed at a 57% premium on the National Stock Exchange at 162 rupees against the issue price of 103. The company has seen its market cap cross 25,000 crore rupees on listing. Hello and welcome to Young Turks Reloaded. I'm Shireen Bhan. Founded in 2014 to bring structure and trust to India's unorganized home services sector, Urban Company has today grown into Asia's largest tech-led platform for home and beauty services. It operates across 51 cities, including international markets like Singapore, the UAE and Saudi Arabia, and has expanded into new verticals under smart home solutions for native and home improvement with Revamp. The company closed FY25 with net transaction value of over 3,270 crores, revenues of 1,144 crores, and a transacting user base of 7 million, 48,000 professionals under the Urban Company umbrella today to try and create sustainable livelihoods while also attempting to deliver consistent service quality. Joining me now are the co-founders of Urban Company, Abhiraj Singh Bhal, Varun Khaitan and Raghav Chandra. Gentlemen, it's wonderful to have you join us here. Congratulations to start with. And, from 100 square foot office space in Bikaji Kama Place in New Delhi to Dalal Street today. Abhiraj, let me start by talking to you. Has it sunk in? It was a little bit of an emotional moment. I could see, at least on account of Varun getting teary-eyed. But what was it like for the three of you?
I think it's still sinking in, Shireen. I think it's it has been an emotional day. It is it's a feeling like no other. It's a feeling of happiness, but also one of responsibility, humility for all the love we've been getting. We had service partners, employees, ex-employees, family, everybody join us today.
So there's about 100 odd people here in Mumbai for the listing?
There's more than 100. And I think it was heartening to see everybody so happy. So yeah, I think you never imagine this when you start a company. But we're glad that we're here today.
Urban Company is 11, but the two of you have known each other for 2 decades now, 20 years, and that's a deeper, longer association and partnership. Varun, you got emotional today, but what was the feeling the memory, the core memory that you had while you were speaking today?
A lot of thoughts running in my mind at the same time. Right from times we spent together in college, when we, after college, decided that we need to get together and do something in the service of India over the next many decades, to the many months the three of us spent the streets of Delhi trying to really identify what business we should build that will create large impact in the lives of millions of Indians and be a company that they will look forward to, a company that will make a difference to their daily lives. And then like a fast forward of the last 11 years, while I was trying my best trying to hold emotions back.
Well, Raghav, you've known them for 11 years as well, and you've, of course, been part of the Urban Company story from its inception. As you stand here today, what would you say has been the biggest factor for success at scale so far?
I think as a team, we have been known to showcase very strong ownership. In fact, while we were on the stage talking through, it just reminded me how all facets of Urban Company kind of come together, be it our internal teams showcasing ownership when it comes to just doing their best, going beyond what's needed, or our partners who kind of go to customers' homes, just own up the brand, own up the experience. I think that's probably what our decade of building has been at its core.
Well, talking about the decade of building, but now importantly talking about the decade ahead, the kind of reception that you've got from the Lal Street clearly is an exemplification of the fact that people are believers in this story and believers in the fact that there is potential headroom for growth. I know you said that you've got a very strong balance sheet, but you also said that you want shareholders to be patient. Public market patience and private market patience are entirely different things, Abhiraj. So, what are the levers that you're going to exercise now to get to profitability as you've promised?
I think for us, Shireen, long-term growth and long-term profitability is very important. We see our business in parts. There is the very profitable core in India, which is growing well. It has been profitable for the last year or so. It had a 3% adjusted EBITDA margin as a percentage of NTV last year. That went up to about 4% in the first quarter. And I think that core will have to continue to compound well, grow well, and continue to compound profitably. The new segments where we are, which is InstaHelp, Native, I think these are the areas where we will invest. And at the right time, hopefully either in the first or the second earnings call itself, we will come out very, very clearly to investors with how long will that investment phase last, what is the capital we would like to deploy.
But give us a sense of what we are talking about in terms of investments. And let me contextualize this, because what we've seen with other listed entities, now Eternal, Swiggy, and so on and so forth, they're all having to diversify into new distinct businesses. Eternal with Blinkit, and now District, and Swiggy similarly with Instamart and a few other offerings. Is that now a go-to for platforms like yours to really build out these new distinct verticals, these new distinct offerings to keep growth going?
I think for a platform like ours, at our core, we think of ourselves as a home platform. Anything inside your home is definitely relevant for us. The user trusts us to enter their homes, and we don't take that trust lightly. We understand that that trust comes with a lot of responsibility. I think today we are playing in many services, but not the end state of everything we can do. So in the end state, any service in the four walls of your home will very much be part of our ambition and our playing ground. And similarly, we are imagining a connected ecosystem inside your home of devices which have a strong affinity with our service ecosystem and our platform. So more than a services company, we think of ourselves as a home platform, and that's what we're building. It's hard to see it today, but I think over the next 10 years, this will play out. And we want to be the operating system for your home, the backbone for your home.
The operating system for your home, that's a nice tagline that you've given us there, Abhiraj, as far as Urban & Company is concerned. But Varun, let's talk about what shareholders would want more clarity on, the kind of investments that you intend to make in your new businesses, whether it's Revamp or Native, to build out this home operating system that you spoke of. And again, I'll contextualize this with what we've seen happen with Eternal, Swiggy, etc. I mean, Eternal, over 3 lakh crores in market cap. Swiggy, 1 lakh crores in market cap. You've got a 25,000 crore starting point. What is the runway for growth? What is the aspiration that you see for yourself over the next few years?
As Abhiraj was saying, we think of ourselves as a consumer company. We started by building our services full stack one by one Now, a composite of services is what we call our India Home Services business. We're adding InstaHelp to that as a new service category because we see phenomenal opportunity there and a big consumer need. Similarly, in Native, we saw a big gap in terms of the durability of existing devices and the life cycle experience that consumers were having. And we do internally discuss and deliberate a lot before we start these new initiatives. We start them in pilots and then build onto them in stages. And our focus across these verticals is going to be to continue to invest in the core building blocks. So in the services business, it is going to be in training and quality of our service professionals, in technology, and in continuing to build the brand. In Native, it is going to be on really high quality products, great supply chain, and final end consumer experience in terms of installation and how we take care of the entire 10-year plus that we imagine our devices to be used. And same goes for revamp. Each of them we identify core pillars and keep building on.
So what does the product pipeline for Native look like at this point in time? I mean, water purifiers is where it all started, but what could we be talking about? I mean, what could potentially the product pipeline look like as far as Native is concerned, and what kind of investments will you make there?
I think in Native, Shreen, I think we're just getting started. If you think about your home and the potential for an ecosystem of connected devices in your home which have a strong affinity to our brand, our platform, I think water purifiers and smart electronic door locks are potentially only 2 or 4 or 5 such products that we could build. We will be calibrated. We recognize that this is a new turf. Even though it is related diversification, it's a new territory for us. We have to get it to scale. We have to make it profitable. But if I take a 10-year view, I don't think we will be limited to only water purifiers or electronic door locks. Native, as the brand name says, we want it to be natively integrated into your home, into your life. And also reflecting on your original question, right? I do think as a company, we're only getting started. Like, we're still a small company, Shri. In the scheme of things, that's not lost on us. And, our scale is tiny. It's certainly not enough to satisfy Varun, Raghav, and my ambition. We want this to be one of the most important companies for the Indian home, for the Indian consumer, 10, 15, 20 years out. So while I can't give you very short-term guidance, I can tell you that
you're going to have to get used to giving short-term guidance now, though.
I can tell you that, look, we're going to be hard at work, and we're not going to be satisfied until we're at least 30, 40, 50 times larger than we are today.
So when will we see the next product launch, and what could that potentially be?
I think for the next couple of years, we will have our heads down on these 2 only. At some point in time, we may look at the segment of either cleaning or air conditioning. These are 2 categories where our repair and services portfolio is very strong. Cleaning today is one of our largest service verticals. Aircon repair, aircon servicing is also one of our largest, service verticals. So it would
getting
make
into
natural
manufacturing, air conditioners, vacuum cleaners, all of that, that's potentially the landscape that we're talking about?
I would say if anything that we do cannot be run-of-the-mill. So just a run-of-the-mill vacuum cleaner or a run-of-the-mill aircon, that, just to increase revenues, that's not our DNA. When we want to do something, we want to do something that is distinctly different from what's out there. Otherwise, we'll choose not to do it. The reason we entered water purifiers was we were very clear that we can launch a product that is smart, that is new age, and that needs no servicing for 2 years, unlike how the industry operates. If we don't see that play, we will not just get into a service because we can, sell it through our app and increase. That's not our DNA. Our first promise is to the consumer of great services and great solutions at home, or none at all.
And all of that is backed by technology, Raghav. And, you're going to have to deliver on that promise as you expand and grow into different verticals. What's the big challenge that you see there, particularly today?
So all our business lines require a fair amount of investment. And the backbone of how things work inside is through tech, where we are codifying, helping us scale. So be it Native, InstaHelp, India businesses, international businesses. As we are pushing, innovating, constantly they'll require investments in upgrading how training works, improving how quality has to be assessed, how do you help partners on the job. There's a whole wave of Gen AI solutions which we can use across all facets of a business. And these are things which we plan to be working on through the year.
The exclusive conversation there with the management of Urban Company. The long-term growth and profitability, very, very important. Putting their heads down on the two current businesses, at least for the next 2 years, what the management is saying. Still holding on to gains of around 61%. But as Prime Minister Narendra Modi turns 75 today, wishes are pouring in from across the country and around the world, with political leaders, party workers and citizens expressing their gratitude and well wishes for him. Hear out Sunil Bharti Mittal and Ashish Kumar Chauhan praising the Prime Minister's leadership.
अपने साथ वो संघ इंडस्ट्री के कुछ प्लेयर्स को लेके जाते थे जो चुनिंदा होते थे, ख़ास सेक्टर्स के जो उस कंट्री और इंडिया के साथ जिनका रिलेशनशिप स्ट्रॉन्ग था, उनको बहुत बढ़ावा देते थे और उनकी कोई बात पकड़ लेते थे। उस वक्त उनको समझ आ जाती थी कि ये देश के लिए अच्छी चीज़ है, तो उसको एम्पलीफाई करते थे अपने काउंटर पार्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर के साथ। इवन गुजरात के चीफ मिनिस्टर के टाइम पर वो पहले चीफ मिनिस्टर थे जिन्होंने डिजिटल माध्यम को, उसकी पावर को समझा। टेक्नोलॉजी की जो पावर है वो ये समझते हैं।
On occasion of the 75th birthday of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, I would like to wish him all the very best and wish him many, many happy returns of the day. And at the same time, pray that he lives longer, above 100, and continues to work with the same alacrity and speed as he has demonstrated over last 11 years for next 20 years, so that India becomes a developed nation under his leadership.
Well, wishes pouring in for Prime Minister Narendra Modi on his 75th birthday. But that's all the action we have on this edition of Business Lunch. Don't go anywhere. Midcap Radar takes all of the action forward.